The Think Local initiative has actually been in existence since 1997. It was originally called Think Local Construction. Council went through a restructure 18 months ago and decided to just banner the initiative up as Think Local. Now, we've got teams within the Think Local consist of a recruitment team, which basically work with clients who are looking for skilled opportunities. And then we've got the youth employment team, who basically support 16 to 24-year-olds looking for to upskill and to also gain MVQs. We work with clients. When we work with clients, we basically look at a minimum of a level 2 qualification. All the apprentices that start on our programme through Future Skills work to an MVQ level 2. The E4E money has enabled us to work with clients who are basically, as we badge them up, as hard to reach clients, and that could be ex-offenders or people who have been involved in gun and knife crime. So what we decided to do is to set up a training hub, and it's actually called Building Futures, which is based in Smethwick, on the outskirts of Birmingham. We actually sort of brought a group of organisations together, which included the probation service, our youth offenders teams, and that was both Birmingham and Sandwell, and West Midlands Police Service, to see if there's actually a need for a new initiative and a building called Building Futures. The feedback that we was getting from these organisations was there is other organisations doing this type of work, but the ultimate goal would be to get people employment. So we also worked with one of the 9 Pathfinders Urban Living, who actually commissioned someone a company to actually go out and do some research to see if there was the demand there. And they actually went out on the streets and got talking to people who this might have an impact on. So we'd got sort of people who knew where these individuals met, whether it's at night or at whatever, or during the day, to see whether they'd be willing to work with us to put them through some training. So we basically sort of then decided that once we'd got all this information collated, we then decided to develop the Building Futures Hub. And that was also convincing the council that there was a need, because the council had never been involved in anything like this previously. Yes, we'd worked with clients, mainstream clients who could access apprenticeships, but this was really a totally different ball game from where the council was originally done in previous years. So then we decided that we needed to get on board private sector as well, who then sort of supported us financially to develop the hub. But it was at the time when we took possession of the building. Yes, it was a council-owned building that we didn't have to pay rent for, but it was actually in a poor state condition. So Vinci Facilities, we took them down to the building, and they was willing to sort of refurbish the hub at their cost. But not only that, but also to supply us with materials and the maintenance cost for initial 12-month period. The E4E money was used to provide beneficiaries with a 13-week programme, and that would be basic level 1 construction to enable them to get a taste for the industry, but also to help them make their mind up what they wanted to do within the industry in the future. It also provided funding for qualifications, and that could be health and safety qualifications, CSCS cards, which obviously you need to get onto a construction site. It paid for tools because it set them up with a basic toolkit, but it's also helped them to provide them with any qualification that there was needed to help them. But we also provided with money management as well, because there was obviously an issue around maybe that they had issues with how to deal with their finances. So we also put that type of courses on. We generate employment opportunities through our contractual procedures. So as a council, every contract that goes out of the council, construction, has community benefit clauses in there. So that helps us to lever employment opportunities. The employment opportunities don't just come with a job, they basically come with a qualification as well. So if I take, for example, if we're doing some new house building, then we obviously stipulate that the contractor, depending on the size of the contract, the timescales, has to take people on their sites, and they obviously come from Think Local or from the Learning Hub. But that doesn't just end there. We've actually got a bank of employers that we've worked with over the years because they trust us, because as a consequence of us sort of working with them, we also provide that mentoring support, and those individuals get that support during the 2-year duration that they're actually doing their MVQ Level 2 qualification. Sandwell actually is the 14th most deprived area nationally. What we're doing within Think Local is addressing some of the issues. It has low skills, high unemployment. So what the Think Local team are doing is basically addressing those issues to help people get qualifications and employment.